Hello everyone, welcome to last chapter of this foundation course, which is chapter number 5. This chapter covers the legal and ethical issues that arise when working in cybersecurity. It also discusses educational and career path for cybersecurity. So, cybersecurity professionals must have the same skills as hackers, especially black hat hackers, in order to protect against attacks. One difference between a hacker and a cybersecurity professional is that the cybersecurity professional must work within legal boundaries. So you might have some personal legal issues. You don't even have to be an employee to be subject to cybersecurity laws. In your private life, you may have the opportunity and skills to hack another person's computer or network. There is an old saying, just because you can does not mean you should. So just because you can does not mean you should. Keep this in mind. Most hackers leave tracks, whether they know it or not, and these tracks can be followed back to the hacker. Cybersecurity professionals develop many skills which can be used for good or evil. Those who use their skills within the legal system to protect infrastructure, networks, and privacy are always in high demand. So, for the corporate legal issues, most countries have some cybersecurity laws in place. They may have to do with critical infrastructure networks and corporate and individual privacy. Businesses are required to abide by these laws. In some cases, if you break cybersecurity laws while doing your work, it is the company that may be punished and you could lose your job. In other cases, you could be prosecuted, fined, and possibly sentenced. In general, if you are confused about whether an action or behavior might be illegal, assume that it is illegal and do not do it. Your company may have a legal department or someone in the human resource department who can answer your questions before you do something illegal. For the international law and cybersecurity, the area of cybersecurity law is much newer than cybersecurity itself, as mentioned before. Most countries have some laws in place, and there will be more laws to come. In addition to working within the confines of the law, cybersecurity professionals must also demonstrate ethical behavior. Personal ethical issues. A person may act unethically, not be subject to prosecution, fines, or imprisonment. This is because the action may not have been technically illegal, but that does not mean that the behavior is acceptable. Ethical behavior is fairly easy to ascertain. It is impossible to list all of the various unethical behaviors that can be exhibited by someone with cybersecurity skills. Below are just two. Ask yourself, would I want to discover that someone has hacked into my computer and altered images in my social network sites? Would I want to discover that an IT technician whom I trusted to fix my network told colleagues personal information about me that was gained while working on my network? If your answer to any of these questions was no, then do not do such things to others. Corporate ethical issues. Ethics are codes of behavior that are sometimes enforced by law. There are many areas in cybersecurity that are not covered by laws. This means that doing something that is technically legal still may not be the ethical thing to do, because so many areas of cybersecurity are not, or not yet, covered by laws. Many IT professional organizations have created codes of ethics for persons in the industry. Below is a list of 3 organizations with codes of ethics. As an example, of course, Information Systems Security Association has a code of ethics. Association of Information Technology Professionals has both a code of ethics and a standard of conduct. Cisco, one of the biggest IT companies, has a team devoted exclusively to ethical business conduct. As with legal questions in general, if you are confused about whether an action or behavior might be unethical, assume that it is unethical and do not do it. There may be someone in your company's human resources or legal department who can clarify your situation before you do something that would be considered unethical. Search online to find other IT-related organizations with codes of ethics. Try to find what they all have in common. For the cybersecurity jobs, we can think of that as 3 levels: entry, then mid-level, and senior management. So many other businesses and industries are hiring cybersecurity professionals. There are several online search engines to help you find the right job in cybersecurity. Even if you are just starting your education in IT and cybersecurity, looking at job search engines is a good way to see what kinds of jobs are available all over the world. It depends on the country you are in, to be honest. And we all will notice also that there is no clear definition of different titles between different organizations. So you need to check whether just this job description is matching your skills or not. For example, in some organizations it will be called cybersecurity officer, and in other organizations they call it cybersecurity specialist or engineer. So you need to know exactly what that means, what are your daily tasks would be. So it's a good idea to understand that and prepare yourself for the job and acquire these skills. It will be a good idea also to acquire some certification. Many companies, they have an essential criteria for accepting people, new employees. They have to have some kind of certification. So even if you are just starting your education, IT and cybersecurity, again, looking at job search engine is a good way to see what kinds of jobs are available. So depending on your interest in cybersecurity, different types of jobs can be available to you, and they can require specialized skills, certifications. For example, a penetration tester, also known as an ethical hacker, searches and exploits security vulnerabilities in applications, networks, and systems. So to become a pen tester, you will need to gain experience in other IT jobs, such as security administrator, network administrator, and system administrator. Each one of these jobs requires its own set of skills that will help you become a valuable asset to an organization. Our hope is that this course has piqued your interest in pursuing an education in IT and cybersecurity, and then continuing on to an exciting career. This chapter began by discussing the legal and ethical issues that professionals in cybersecurity commonly face. It also presented educational and career paths for those who wish to become cybersecurity professionals. 3 external internet job search engines are presented for you to explore, or more, for example, Seek if you are in Australia, different job boards, Byte in some Middle Eastern countries. You can search in Europe. You can Google easily. You can Google different jobs. Thank you for your time, and I hope this course was informative. And please feel free to ask questions in the sections below, and contact us, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for your time, and hope to see you again in further courses. Thank you and have a great day.